So, hi, Ellie, and then welcome to our video interview. And thank you for joining us today at the Grand Prix. After winning your first ISU Grand Prix medal at Skate America, congratulations! And it's you are also a very interesting team because and I wanted to talk a little bit about like the process that you went through as a team and the long history Danny especially has in figure skating. So what was the point for you to team up when you did? It's like now your third season. How did that come about?
Well, it's a little bit of a story, yeah. We were both in Colorado Springs. I had retired at the time and was just working a couple days a week. Drew had asked me to come down and work at the rink and train with the girls who didn't have partners and help them out with pair skating skills. So I was still in shape lifting and doing that kind of thing. And then Ellie's previous partner and her broke up, and Drew said, well, would you mind skating with her a little bit this week just to like help her through the transition? And I was like, yeah, but I'm not giving her lessons. We're just gonna see how it feels, right? And because I had a feeling, I'd watched them skate. There was still that itch, you know, to keep competing a little bit. And after day one, I could feel it, and after day three, we both knew. I think.
Yeah.
It was.
It's pretty natural.
Yeah. We felt very comfortable right from the beginning, and we were like, okay, how can we make this happen this year, right? Because it was late in the season, so we canceled vacations and buckled down and got to work immediately because it was like time to be serious with all of this.
Yeah, because I wanted to ask what kept you going, because you had a long career, you had ups and downs.
Yeah, for sure. Right?
What was the fire still alive for you?
So it's crazy, right? It's difficult in life to keep going through ups and downs, and I think stepping away for a little period of time gave me perspective of like really feeling like I still wanted to be involved in the sport. And when we started skating together, I got to have so much fun all the time. It was, I think I brought an intensity to skating before that was almost detrimental to my success at times, right? I wanted it so bad that I was like pushing myself really hard. I still do, but I think we have a lot of fun out on the ice and enjoy the process too. It sounds so cliche, right? But
It really is true.
yeah, it really is true to enjoy the way you're going through day-to-day training, and just, I don't know, it all feels so special at this point, right? Both of us, we've discussed this a couple times, and we both felt that like we had accomplished a lot in our career, and we were happy and felt like we had reached a natural ending point in some ways, and this partnership is just extra for us.
Bonus rounds.
Yeah, right. I never thought I'd be back out here scoring the highest I've ever scored and medaling again at 33. And I mean, you were saying.
I mean, I never expected to be here at Skate America and going to NHK. It's all just kind of like a dream come true. So.
Really, but you are still so young. So your career was you were still at the beginning.
As a single skater, you know, I was planning on just going to college and just moving on, and yeah, but like the opportunity to skate pairs just kind of opened up a new, I guess, region of like possibilities for me, and I kind of had to I fell back in love with the sport, and it's not like I fell out of love. I just my brain was getting ready to move on with like the rest of my life. You know, I wanted to have, another career, and that's still a plan for after skating, but this opportunity was too good for me to pass up, so I guess I was like, I'll stick around for a little bit longer.
When Danny won the 4 continent silver medal with his previous partner, you were 10 years old.
Yeah, crazy, right?
Do you remember anything from Danny when he was competing before?
To be honest, as a single skater, I didn't really watch that much pairs. Like, I watched all the great single skaters, like, Yuna, Yuzu, they're like my idols growing up, but like pairs was never really something I watched all that much, which is kind of embarrassing to admit because like now that's just what I do every day. But having to train pairs has brought a new appreciation for all the different types of skating, for dance and pairs. Like everything is just so hard. And it's not that I didn't think that they were hard, I just didn't even acknowledge that I was just like very one track, like single skating is what I do. Like
a lot of people don't have a ton of exposure to it, right? Yeah.
Well, and I guess it's normal for the single skaters.
Yeah, right. We all start in a singles career and then branch out into the other things,
it's
right?
It's kind of funny because I have at my old skating club, I have this photo of our national send-off. It was my very first nationals, and I think it was San Jose.
Okay.
And I have this huge photo of everyone that's going, and at the very end is Danny with Tara, and then I'm like at the very bottom of this point. I look like such a child, and I'm like so happy to be there. And then there's Danny, and like we had like kind of no interaction because the pairs and the singles at our rink are pretty separated. But it's just kind of funny throwback because he was training at the same rink, and we went to the same nationals, but there was like no interaction. Now we're here skating together, so it's just
now we spend
small
every
world.
day together.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really nice story. So how was the process for you becoming a real pairs team? Obviously, Danny had a lot of experience. You had a little bit of pairs experience as well, but not as much.
Yeah, it's been a journey.
It's growing. Yeah, it's not like one thing happens and we're a para team. Like I guess we can call ourselves a para team, but it really didn't start to like really feel like a team until this off season. I think we really started to skate together and understand what it's like to really feel like we accomplish each element together, and there's like a feel of ease almost when we do something that's just really good and we're like both of our strengths are going, pushing together. It makes things a lot easier when we do it together.
Yeah, it's amazing how, like you said, both of our strengths working together, like we can achieve so much more than we would individually, right? And it's definitely come a lot from these programs that we've put together this season. And it's one of the things where we got our long program choreographed in IM in Montreal with Marie France, and she pushed us to another level of our skating, and it's been amazing, and it was great for us to deal with like that difficulty, right? Just in that we're growing individually. Yeah, different type of skating, trying to emulate a lot of the qualities that you see in the best ice dancers in the world, and as we had to push through that and grow together through that process, it brought us closer and really enabled us to skate more as a team completely, and helped our technical a lot.
Made elements better.
Right? Yeah, and then Drew did our short program and did. I think he was like, "Oh, you guys can do even more than we've been doing." So we got home from the long choreography, and he was like, "All right, we're gonna make this one hard too." The first day of choreography of the short program, we did the opening, and I start on my knee and lift Ellie from my knee, and then we go through like the next 10 seconds in almost a full squat, and I was falling all over the place, and I was looking at Ellie and I was like, there's no way we're going to accomplish this, right? But there's something about his choreography that like the next day we came in and he like tweaked the pattern a little bit, and all of a sudden it just worked.
Yeah,
right?
It's one of my favorite beginnings. It flows so well, and it just, when we do it together, it feels like, I just like know that it looks good because it feels like, it feels so nice.
Well, it is. Both programs are beautiful, yes, and I wanted to ask about them. And you talked about them.
Yeah.
It's very. So the music, was it suggested by the choreographers or by yourself?
A little bit of a combination. Ellie brought Rain in Your Black Eyes, and then Drew jumped on it and ran with it. And I would say that Marie France really,
Like a collaboration.
yeah, she gave us some options and some ideas, and we sent her a bunch. And then at the end of the day, this music came about, and I love it. It's so powerful, but also such an important message, right? Feels very much like a pair team,
Yeah.
Stand By Me. The journey that she goes throughout the song, right? At the beginning, she's like, I'll be okay if you stand by me. And at the end, she's like, we got this if you stand by me, right? It's a very subtle change throughout, but it's a beautiful message as well. And really goes along with our transformational growth as a team, and how we feel like completely equals out on the ice, and how we're changing the perception that the judges and the fans have of us as a team this year, and that's been just like the message that we're internalizing.
What do you feel was the biggest challenge for you as when you started your career, or maybe still is the biggest challenge, and how did you overcome it?
For sure. I mean,
Or
it's
just
pretty
skating
obvious.
together?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, just being on the same page. I mean, for me, especially, is like communication is definitely one of the things that is still really hard. Like, we have very different ways of communicating, and we spend so much time together. You know, even though we spend a lot of time together, it's still really important to have that open line of communication with our coaches, but especially together. And like, if we're not on the same page, then there's no way we can be on the same page doing the same things on the ice and matching the same movements. So that's definitely something that I'm still working on, and the better we get at it as a team, the better we stay.
Yeah, it's crazy how important it is to have that. We call it togetherness, right? A unity, the ease of unison, right? But just being on the same page mentally really is so much of what it is. And my communication style is like overly aggressively communicating, right? Like, I'm going to give you all of my thoughts and opinions about the whole thing, whether you want to hear them or not. And so, like, and Ellie is more internalizing. She's going to go through the whole process in her head 5 times before she wants to share any of it, and make sure she's got it figured out first, right? And the two of us have to like meet in the middle with our process, right? And make sure that like I share maybe an appropriate amount, and we meet in the middle so that we can make that communication effective for our skating, right? And I think it's a great life lesson too, but
Yeah. It's such a simple thing, but it changes so much. And like, this relationship is, you know, it's complicated like any type of relationship, but it's also like, we add even more complexity to it because we have that physical like push of our bodies as well. So, you know, even when we're not at our best physically and mentally, we still have to make sure that we can meet at a middle ground so that we're together on the ice and nothing dangerous happens, but also we can put something beautiful out there for people to watch.
Yeah.
It's complicated, but it's going pretty well. We're figuring it out.
Yeah, pairs or ice dance partnerships, they are very, because I asked the other skaters about it, Piper and Paul, and they said that it's really because it's kind of family.
Yeah.
It's and yeah.
It's unlike any other type of
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, so good. Now this Grand Prix medal obviously is a huge confidence boost for you. And what are your goals for this season?
Yeah, so I mean, this is our 3rd competition of the season, and each one has been a step in the right direction for us. John Nix was great to get our programs out there, start to feel them out, feel a little better about competing, and then we had a great step forward at Nebelhorn in the short program was awesome. Long program was not, right?
But you were sick, right?
Yeah, Ellie was sick, and we were dealing with some things there, but it was honestly just probably a little bit of lack of focus in one moment that made the things go wrong, right? But each competition has been a great step in the right direction, and this is another step in the correct direction for us. Like we've said a couple times, our goals for this season are we don't have like a specific. We want to break 200. We want to go to Worlds. We want to there's a lot of things that would be really nice, and I won't say we don't want to win Worlds because of course that would be amazing, right? But what we want to do this season is really change our perspective of ourselves as a team, and by doing that, change the perspective of the judges and how other people see us as a team, as one of the top teams in the world, right? And ice is slippery. Sometimes competitions go wrong, and I think it's all learning, and I think everyone understands that. But if we can really start to make that where we feel like we belong at that top, then it'll be something that will be felt by others, and I think it'll show in the results.
Good. Thank you so much, and we wish you the best of luck for the rest of the season.
Thank you.